Hey, Tony guys here. Popping in. Just wanted to check in. A little tied up, a little busy yesterday, and was moving around. And sometimes life just don't allow you the time you think you're gonna have to shoot a video. And a lot of times you look at YouTubers who make their majority of their majority of their income from YouTube. And people think like, oh, that's just YouTube, that's your job, that's an easy job. But life don't work out like that. Sometimes you got appointments, you got schedules to keep, you got stuff you got to do. And so yesterday I didn't have a free moment to shoot a video. And I'm still moving, just getting back, in town today. And I literally touched down in town and dropped off my 2 bags in the house just so they wouldn't be flying around in my Sprinter. Sat them in the house, nobody at the house, because my wife had to go take my oldest son his clothes and my youngest son to practice, and I'm going to pick up our oldest son. He's at practice right now at school. If you seen on my Twitter, where I posted, and my Instagram, my son is in a inventions club. It's called Invent Teams. It's a inventions teams is what it means. And it's started by MIT. I think that means Massachusetts Institute of Technology, but I can't. Forgive me if I just made up a name for them. But right now, if you Google top universities in the country, Princeton is number 1. That's where my sister-in-law went to undergrad. Princeton is number 1. So my son got to see that. My wife's sister, he got to see this possible. Somebody who, is like me, can make it and go to the number 1 university in the country. And for number 2, it's a 3-way tie. And one of those schools is MIT. Well, MIT did this contest around the country for schools who have invent teams to submit a proposal for their invention. And so throughout the summer, my son was doing Zoom meetings with his team. It's like 12 of them, I think. They doing Zoom meetings, they mapping it out, everybody get a role. He took his role. He said it was hard what he had to do, his role in it. And they submit the proposal, and then they chose 8 schools out of the country. And you know how big the country is. They chose 8 schools. And the team he's on, which is a small team, but I'm proud of it because one of the leader of the club is a black woman. So that's representation, for minorities in that space, in the STEM space. And it's not a whole lot of representation of diverse representation. And then on his team, it's women, girls on the team, boys on the team. He's a person of color. It's other people of color on the team, so it's diverse. Different races, different cultures, both genders, different genders. And so I'm so proud of that. But so he did that. MIT announced it today. They put it on their website. I tweeted the link. My wife shared it. Y'all gotta forget all that squeaking in here. Just when you're in any kind of vehicle, the chairs, I gotta spray some WD-40 on them or something. But different people sitting in them and wiggling and moving around and get them a little loose. And so he just got his report card last week. And his report card was straight A's. He's in 9 classes. One of those classes is a AP class, which I think stands for Advanced Placement. Forgive me if it doesn't stand for that. And the rest of the classes are honors classes. I'm watching this kid work until midnight. So many nights. One night until 2 a.m. For those of y'all who follow my Instagram stories, you saw me post. He was doing homework until 2 a.m. So he got straight A's. 2 of the classes he barely made it, because his school gives A minuses. It ain't just an A. You know, back when I was in school, in a lot of schools, if you get a 90 through 100, that's an A. Well, at his school, they distinguish between an A and an A minus. So an A minus is a 90 to a 92.3, I think. And I think a 92.4 or a 92.5 and above is an A. So he got straight A's, no A minuses. And he had to work his butt off. He worked. And the reason being is because of stuff like this. He's in school. He finished school. He goes to soccer practice because he's on the soccer team. He's a 9th grader. He's on the varsity soccer team. And hopefully, maybe he'll be a starter. And so he's on the varsity soccer team. He got some seniors on the team that he's happy to have an opportunity to play with them this year, and they hoping to do well. But there is his club team, the travel team, that, you know, his main team that he's on, they on break right now so that they could do high school. But he gets to practice with the other team that is one step above his league. He gets to practice with them and he can play with them. So that team, because those players are from around the area, not all in one city, they have practice in different places. So I just got back in town and I literally dropped my bags, got in the Sprinter. I'm driving to his school, which is a like 30-40 minute drive. I'm picking him up, and then we driving an hour to an hour and a half to his practice. His practice is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I went home yesterday, so he missed me a little bit probably, so he gonna want to talk to me. So he gonna talk 15-20 minutes, but his mama got a rule: can't do too much talking. You got to get your homework done in that drive, because practice is 7 to 9 p.m. Now our house is an hour and a half away from practice. Practice gonna finish at 9. We're not gonna get home until 10:30, and he got school tomorrow. So he got an hour there and an hour and a half back. That's 2.5 hours that he has to do his homework while he's riding. And so now listen, MIT, if you know something about schools, you know the schools, the inventions that they pick, you got to have some merit to those inventions. Them inventions got to be some creative inventions for them to pick 8 schools, 8 teams out of the whole United States. So, but that's a team. That ain't my son. It's a team of like 12 of them. And soccer. If you know high school sports, if you know about club sports and demand on the body, so he doing 2 soccer practices in the same day while maintaining straight A's. And yesterday he had the same 2 soccer practices. Tomorrow he'll have the same 2 soccer practices, which is Thursday. Friday he will get a little break because we're gonna go to the NBA game. So we'll go to an NBA game, and I got us courtside seats for this very reason, because my boys and my wife, they work hard. And then Saturday we're gonna go to the college football game, And then Sunday, I'm going to another NBA game with my partner, but he got to do something else. I can't remember what my wife told me he got to do. He got to do something. Or maybe he got to study or something he got to do. And so 7 days a week is full go. But I'm sharing this with you. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because this is what I mean when I say balance. Balance don't mean 50-50. Balance could be 80-10-10. Balance could be 70-20-10. Balance could be 80-20. It could be 60-40. Like balance, it could be done for you and your life. For you and yourself if you single, or you and your kids if you a single parent, or you and your partner if you in a relationship with no kids, or you and your partner and your kids if you have that. It can be done. And I want to share this because a lot of times we look, and as parents we say, oh, well, my daughter or my son does travel sports, club, volleyball, or gymnastics, so it's impossible to have straight A's. And here I am showing you a kid that's doing 4 hours of sports practice and 8 hours of school, 12 hours. And he sometimes do not finish his homework in that drive to practice and that drive home, because teachers act like their class is the only class. So he got 9 classes. So all 9 will have a homework assignment. All 9 will have a test tomorrow. And he got to study for the test. He'll have 3 tests on the same day on average. You know it's hard enough studying for 1 test. To study for 3 tests. So now what you have to do is you have to prioritize. You have to plan ahead. You got to do all of that. But I'm sharing this to let you know, not to brag to you, but just to share a day in the life of for the singles who you want to be married, you want to have kids, or if you got kids and you wondering, am I pushing my child too hard? Is my child doing too much? My wife showed me a quote that her aunt sent her by Dr. Hilliard or somebody that said, every child is born a genius or born smart, but we fail to remind them of that. It was something like that was saying kids are more capable than we fathom. A child could do way more. The human brain is not being used to its fullest capacity, but our limiting beliefs and our thoughts, what we have struggled with, what we have gone through, what we have suffered through, those things make us believe that our child is incapable, that they can't do this, they can't do that, because we didn't do it, because our mom or our dad didn't do it, because we weren't allowed to do certain things. So we can't fathom a child having straight A's and having extracurricular activities. It don't have to be sports. My son has been in chess club. He has been in robotics club. He has been in coding club. He's in this tech club. With this tech club, they get the grant. It's a $10,000 grant. They got to create their invention with that. God blessed us, showed favor that I reached out to my business partner. They needed to raise $6,000 amongst, several companies. And the company, we get to put our logo on the back of the shirt. My business partner say, we're going to do it, because me and him have a company together. He said, we're going to do it. And I got another company and we're going to do it. He sent the check for $6,000. Look at God. Look at God. You see what I'm saying? Look at God. And what I'm telling you is you got to take the limits off. Take the limits off. Take the limits off God. Take the limits off your kids. Take the limits off yourself. You don't think my wife tired? She tired. Because she had yesterday, she had 3 practices between two boys. So you know what she did? I was out of town. You know what she did? She gonna be calling me in a second. Oh, my son about to be calling, so I'm about to have to go. She got the little one. She picked up the little one while the big one in school. She brought the little one home, fed him, changed him. They went back to the school, picked up the big one. They went to another location, dropped off the little one to a teammate, mom, who live in our area. The little one rode to practice with that teammate. The little one had to do his math homework, his math workbook in the car on the way to practice. The teammate didn't have homework. You know, they don't go to the same school. He didn't have homework, so he got to play on his iPad. And I'm sure my son was probably like, man, I want to play on that iPad. Nah, nope, son, you got to do homework. This your season doing homework right now. He's 7 years old, but he got a lot of homework every day. And because of the school they go to is intense on the education. I can't do that work. And so he doing his homework on there. Then my wife take the oldest to his second soccer practice because they had to go to the school to pick him up from his first soccer practice, which is at 5. Then she take him to his soccer practice. And no, the oldest had to ride with somebody else, I think, too. See, I'm confused. The schedule is so crazy. And then she got to go back to the little one practice, get the little one, and then go get the big one. And so 3 practices between 2 kids, and she had to figure that out, make that work. And then come today, she was like, listen, the little one got practice over here, which is 30 minutes from our house, at 6 o'clock. The oldest one got, but it don't end until 7:30. But the oldest one got practice at 7, an hour and a half away. She said, I need you. And I said, okay, now I need you to admit that you need me. I need you to admit that you need me. We were joking. She was like, all right, bye. I'm finna get off the phone. I'll make this work. I can work it out now if I need to. But that also, shout out to the single mamas. Shout out to the single mothers. Because when I'm gone, my wife, she get to see and she get to feel what single mothers go through every single day. And, you know, God bless you and shouts out to you. And for the single mama that you a millionaire, start a nonprofit organization in your city and do fundraisers and do events and raise money to help other single moms. Since God done brought you out, start your nonprofit and help other single moms, because I know it's extremely hard. I know it's extremely hard, and I know it feel like it ain't fair sometimes. But guess what? Max out, and you'll be surprised what God could do. You'll be surprised what God could do. It's a many days me and my wife got to take kids to practice with us, and they in a 2-parent household. So if a 2-parent household need help, I know a single parent household need help. But guess what? Lean on God, trust God. Get online and see if it's a foundation that already exists that'll help you. See if it's a situation. You know, put your child in the sport. Don't worry about how they gonna get there. Get there and talk to the coach. The coach might be riding right by your house. Make sure you know this person and all that, and you done vetted them and background check or whatever. You done got several. It might be a carpool that's going to practice. A lot of teams have a carpool that's 2 or 3 kids. You put your child in that, because you giving your child an opportunity to learn skills and to learn things that they wouldn't otherwise learn, whether it's in this extracurricular activity, whether it's sports or whether it's a STEM program or whatever it may be. All these birds trying to fly. The devil trying to get me hit by a bird. And so this is what you have to realize and understand. And max out. Do what you got to do, because we got to expose the kids to what we can. And it might not be 2-3 teams. It might be 1 team. It might be 1 sport. It might be 1 club. But they doing something. They got camaraderie. They get social skills. They get to learn some things. A lot of times as parents, we get tired. If I'm in a 2-parent household and I get tired, I know a single parent get tired. But listen, we ain't got time to feel sorry for ourselves. Even if you're a single parent, you ain't got time to feel sorry for yourself, because that ain't gonna change the situation. That ain't gonna change the situation. So you got to say, look, okay, this the hand that life dealt me. I'm finna play the mess out of it. I'm finna ball out of control, and I know rest is gonna come. When my child is successful, and my child could look back and say, wow, I appreciate my, my mama, my daddy, or my single parent, or my 2-parent household, or my grandma, my auntie, my friends who helped out, whatever it is. I appreciate what they did for me to give me an opportunity, because it's somebody listening that had an opportunity. It's somebody listening that had an opportunity. See, I done got here right at the time of practice. My wife here to drop off. You'll see out the window. Wife here to drop off stuff for my son, and we pulling up beside each other. She dropping off clothes. I'm about to take one to practice. I'm picking up the other one, about to drive, take him to practice. But I share this to say, it's gonna be a stretch. It's gonna be a stretch regardless of who you are and what you got to do. It's gonna be a stretch, but we got to stretch. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. Going to practice? 6 p.m.
Yes.
You went to practice yesterday?
I go to Mommy. Every week am I going?
I don't know if it's every week, but this week you did. Hey.
Hey, baby.
Hey, explain to Daddy how a bill goes into a law. So you one more time.
This is how a bill goes into a law. First the bill is introduced, and then it goes to the committee, and then it goes to the Senate, and then the Senate discuss the bill, and then it's passed, and then it goes to the House of Representatives, and then there's more questions, and then the House passed the bill, and then the president signed the bill to be a law.
Good.
Wow, good job, buddy. I love you. Have fun. Say bye. Tatum just taught us how a bill becomes a law. I ain't even know that. God bless you. I love you. That's crazy. So no, he got to be there 7.
Yeah.
So I ain't in no super rush, but I'm head on.
Yeah, because it's traffic.
And that's all I did right there.
It's dinner, so he
Thank you. I got some dinner in there too.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
It's a tropical.
You want to say hey on the camera?
No.
You looking good, baby. You look
Hi,
good.
from a distance.
She's an eye from there. You look good.
Okay, we're done.
How much work you got? A lot?
Plenty. Because you
Plenty.
got a project to finish. So
Okay.
you got a project to finish.
No, I have a project, but I'm saying like homework.
Okay, but you need to, yeah, you asked me to go to Ethan's house. You ain't going nowhere. You know, project done. Sir.
I love you.
Love you too.
So how much talk time he get?
0.
Well, I got to catch up with him a little bit
Well,
now.
I'm saying, he get on back end. If
I had like this much homework. Literally.
But what happened last time, and then he go and bomb a test the next
I
day.
finished my homework in school.
I'm not buying what you're selling.
So, baby, can you text me the address to the place?
Yeah.
Is it the Premier Sports Complex? Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll text you like what field it's at.
Okay, do that for
Yeah,
me.
be like, make sure he's completely ready to go. No, like, put nothing on. He's ready to go.
Cleats on, socks on,
Yeah.
shin guard.
On
Okay.
the field at
I
7.
don't have to wear shin guards.
Okay, no shin guards, but he's got to.
You don't get kicked in the shin?
Well, you probably should wear it tomorrow because today's full field. You probably should wear it today.
Yeah, don't be out there trying to be cute.
You got deodorant and stuff in your bag, okay?
Alright.
All right, drink that shake and don't forget to take that medicine. All right? Love you.
All right, baby, I love you. I'm finish up a video.
Okay.
Say hey. They're my oldest, eating them a little snack after practice. Then my wife got us some dinner right there. Now that Pollo Tropical. That Pollo Tropical be hidden. You got to do homework. I was about to say you cut TV on. But I wanted to share this with you, and I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest with you, if this was me, I'm gonna tell you, if I was a single parent, my sons will have C's. They'll have B's and C's.
Oh, Daddy, don't
What's
pull off. Let me hop out real quick.
Okay.
I gotta get something.
From mama? From your mama or at school?
At school.
Okay, let me tell her. Hold on. She probably think I'm stopping for her. You gonna be able to get in
Get in what? The school?
to the school?
Yeah, the door's open. The gate, I mean.
Okay. I hope
I left my phone in the locker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She probably wondering, what did you doing? If I was with my sons, they'll have B's and C's. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. If I was a single parent, because I understand as humans we get tired, and sometimes though somebody else will make us better. And so when that comes, that's why you got to have somebody who's not just like you. A lot of times with couples, what people try to do, people try to find somebody that's just like them. And so they're looking for somebody that's just like them. And that's like a puzzle, but you got the same piece. The same piece, that means they're going to stack on top of each other. So what you doing if you stacking on top of each other? That means all y'all doing is making babies. But see, when you got a piece that fit around you, now you can complete the puzzle. So my wife is my polar opposite in personality and mindset. We are the same in our foundation, our morals and values. And that's why I try to tell people. People say, oh, I'm a speaker, so I'm attracted to a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur, I gotta have an entrepreneur. I can't have no 9-to-5 man. And what we really need, honestly, is somebody that's going to compliment us. Not complete you, but compliment you. You say you got to call your phone?
See, I have to find it. I don't know where I put it.
You ain't put it in your mama car, did you?
Oh, no, I didn't have it in my hands.
And it's not in your locker.
Oh, here it is.
Son,
What?
come on.
I never actually lose it. I just misplace it.
And so when you got somebody that can compliment you, they add to you, they build around you. Meaning, so what my wife is, she's the type to where she want excellence. She don't want mediocrity. She want excellence. Me, I quit. Hey, I'm tired. I quit. Her, she say, if you started, you gonna finish it. So what I do as a man, instead of forcing my way, I realize that what she trying to implement ain't gonna hurt them. It's gonna make them better. She teaching them to power through. She teaching them to speak life. She teaching them to be positive. She teaching them to max out. She teaching them to be the best you can be. Don't settle. You can get straight A's. So yes, although you do sports, and yes, with these sports, you could take and have a B or a C because you a athlete. We finna go for straight A's, and if we get straight A's and you a athlete, then that show us what you capable of, and now that's the standard. But for me, I was like, not too long ago, like, baby, you know, it come a point to where you got to choose between sports and school. She said, nope, you could do both. And you know what she said, what she used to have in her bio, but people would misunderstand it. It said, I want it all. People thought that means she greedy. People thought that mean, you know, this and that. What it meant is she and I asked her, I said, what does I want it all mean? Because another relationship coach probably was checking my wife out, and he tweeted, I don't want it all. I just want what's for me. So I know he got that from looking at her bio, because he was seen as competition to me kind of, but it's no competition. I don't compete. And so I say, what does it mean I want it all? She say, what that means is I'm not willing to take a L in any area of my life. She said, I want a happy marriage. I want well-behaved kids who work hard. I want to be blessed going and coming. I'm not gonna settle for the marriage image for the public, but I'm being cheated on, cursed out, mistreated. I'm not gonna settle for a successful husband, a successful marriage, but our kids is getting rolled up in school, getting referrals, getting detention, and getting bad grades when they capable of better. If they got a learning disability or something that they're incapable of getting these straight A's because of the way they learn, then that's totally different. But if they capable, I want them to be at their max capability. And so that was her thing. And I'm like, okay, all right, that makes sense to me. And guess what? Because that's her standard, because that's what she believed God for, that's what he gave her. So I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness. I done seen it play out. It's gonna look bleak. You're gonna get weary. You're gonna get tired. It ain't gonna look up. It ain't gonna look right. It ain't gonna look good. But you can't settle. You cannot settle. You got to keep going. Hey, God bless you. I got to go because I got a map to this here location and I could be heading in the wrong direction. I ain't got time to wait. God bless you. We'll talk soon.